my leg. I'm sorry. My neighbor across the street, he be sitting in his garage and he'll have his like his little radio system or boom box. I don't know what it is. He got some a speaker. He be having something on. He be playing music while he's sitting out there. Y'all, oh, my leg hurt. I'm shit.
Know what I'm talking about, babe? Yeah. Now it's time for me to...
I know I've been going long. Hey y'all. Did you miss me? No, I'm not working out with makeup on. I'm gonna take the makeup off. I just decided to go ahead and record before I do work out because I'm like, I haven't recorded for you in a long time and I ain't doing nothing really. Because I kind of did everything some days ago. That's why I haven't really been on here. I've been kind of busy with stuff, life, things. I gotta get things taken care of. My daughter was in school. That was the last few weeks of school, so it was very busy, chaotic. You understand if you have children, how the last few days or weeks of school is like very chaotic. And my daughter was finishing 8th grade, so they had like an 8th grade dance, and then she had her 8th grade graduation, and I had to do all of that, like get all that together. So that's kind of like, and I was sick a little bit. I wasn't feeling too good. My voice still kind of messed up right now, but I think it's my allergies because the weather changing or whatever. But anyway, we back, we here. So I wanted to tell y'all this story. I've been wanting to tell y'all this story for a long time. Like right after I think I dropped my first story time about the Vegas stuff, I was gonna tell y'all this story like very shortly after that. But my best friend was like, don't tell the story yet. And I'm like, because I guess she was like, it's kind of fresh. Because it was kind of fresh, but because it would happen in 2020. And I told y'all the story. Well, I told y'all the story a year ago, so it wasn't fresh, but I guess she was still like, it's fresh because this happened in 2020. So yeah, we're gonna, if you read the title, you know what it is. But anyway, without further ado, get your drink, get your snack, get your herbal essence, get all your stuff, all that, and then we're gonna get back into the story or whatever. We're gonna get right into it. Okay, y'all. So this is a time where she contacted me. His wife contacted me. Now, y'all probably like, whose wife? Who wife? This is a whole new person. This is a whole nother person. I ain't never talked about this person. That's why I'm like, I've been wanting to tell y'all this story a long time. I just didn't say it. But I'm gonna tell y'all. So I told y'all that I was married, right? I told y'all that in a story. I don't know what story it was because I don't remember. But one of my stories I had told y'all about when I became single to the world, when the world knew that my late husband had passed away. I got a whole bunch of messages, like a whole bunch of people was trying to follow me. Like hundreds of people, women and men. But the men were the ones in my stuff saying stuff to me about, like, for example, like, I've been liking you for years, or let me take you out on a date, or do you need somebody if you need a shoulder to cry on or whatever, I'm here for you. If you need somebody to talk to, that type of stuff. Like, okay, so y'all get the gist. Okay, they were saying whatever, any way to shoot it at me in the DMs, that's what it was. At the time, I wasn't thinking, because I like to show y'all proof. Now, the proof that's in this video is the proof of what he was saying to me. Now, what I don't know what I'm going to do is I'm going to see as I go through, but I don't know how much of that I'm going to put in the video. But I will show y'all a few screenshots of his conversation with me, because when I'm telling y'all the story, it wasn't me. I wasn't the one pursuing him. Never. It was always him pursuing me, knowing that he has this wife. Okay. Now let's take it back. Now, I knew this, that we're gonna name him, because I thought of a name the other day, but I was like, we're gonna name him Trey. We're gonna name him Trey. That's not his real name. That ain't even close to his name. Okay. I've been knowing Trey for about 12 years. Yes, about 12. Because I met him when I was like 26. So was it 26? Yeah, like 26. I think I was like 26. I don't know however long ago that is. Y'all know how old I am. However long that is. Now, I haven't spoken to him since this happened. This happened in 2020. I'm sorry, this happened in 2020. I haven't spoken to him since this happened, which was in 2020. Okay, now, but I knew him for, at that time, probably like 10 years at the time this happened. So out of them 10 years, he then started trying to pursue me. Now, I was with someone, which is my late husband. I was with him this whole time. He knew I had somebody. I wasn't married at the time. When I met him, I wasn't married. I wasn't trying to be with him or nothing. This was platonically just nothing. It was just, okay, let me start back. Let me, because I don't want to confuse y'all. Okay, I met him at work. I used to work at General Hospital. At General Hospital, I done told y'all story times about the craziness that go on at that job. I met him there. He was like my co-worker. Like, we see each other every day. We on the same shift. We on all that. We together. Now, okay, at the first time that I met him, the first time that I seen him, I was off. He started, and I came in, I walked in, and we locked that eye. You know, we looked at each other, because I looked at him and he looked at me and I looked at him back. Because one thing about it, y'all, I'm not one of them people that I'm going to look away if you look at me. Like, if you looking at me, I'm going to look at you. And I'm going to give you that eye contact. I'm going to look you dead in your eye. And I'm not the person that's shy and like blink. No, I'm going to look at you. So I looked at him and he looked at me, and we looked at each other till we didn't see each other no more. Like, I was walking like this and going around a corner, and he just stood there and he was just looking at me. I stood there, I'm looking at him. So I asked the girl that I was with, I'm like, who is that? And she was like, oh, that's Trey. I'm like, oh. She's like, he just started. He training, because he didn't have, like, when we worked there, we had like uniforms that looked like the sheriff. I'm gonna tell y'all stories about that, how I used to get pulled over and they used to let me go. I'll tell y'all stories about that. That's gonna be later though. But because of my uniform, because I look like a sheriff. Same everything. Colors, everything. Stripes on the side. I look like a cop. Belt, all that. So he didn't have his yet. He had on regular clothes. So she was just telling me like, oh yeah, he started whatever. So as time progressed on, eventually, like, I end up having to talk to him, and then he tell me, you know, a little bit about himself. I'm like, okay, cool. He was cool. Okay. I never thought that it was nothing else. And I know y'all probably like, how? He looked at you. He looked, but he ain't say nothing. So I just assumed he was just looking at me like, okay, he looking. So they always look. I don't know. I just didn't think of it like that. So anyway, time progresses on. I won't say a time. It's probably a year, maybe some time. It's time. It's time where because I was on a different shift, I end up going to the shift he's on. So now I'm on his shift. And at the time I'm on his shift, I was having issues in my relationship. Now, that had nothing to do with him. We still on this. I tell y'all, I don't pursue him. Never did. I was dealing with a whole nother person, completely different. When I told y'all, seen the story where I told y'all the cheating story when I cheated, right? Okay, this is this time. I want y'all now go back and watch that story. I met the guy, and it went from there. Okay, because we ain't gonna go into all of that. Just watch the story. But I cheated and I got caught. You know, I was in a relationship and I got caught. He put the phone up to me and showed the D-pig, all of that. Okay, go watch that. But first, hold on. Pause. Just keep watching this first. All right. This is in that era when I did. Now, the person that I had dealt with, I don't even know what I named him in that story, so we don't even matter. The person that I dealt with in that story, Trey used to see him. Trey would see him, and Trey would come up to me and be like, oh, you dealing with that lame? Like, you know, talking crazy about the dude. Like, oh, he lame, he this, he that, Like, he was going in on the dude or whatever. Now, the thing about Trey is probably, now I'm 5'10". Trey is probably like 5'8". The dude who I was dealing with, that I got caught cheating with, he was 6'5". So he would talk crazy. Like, it both, the thing that Trey used to work out. Trey still, like, when up until the point I told you I talked to him 2020, he still was working out. So I'm assuming he still probably is working, because that's what he used to do. He work out. He got a nice body. He work out. He lift weights. He not a big swole dude, but he's very fit. He has a lean physique, muscles, six pack. He has a nice shape, very nice body. Now the dude I was dealing with, he had an average body. He didn't work out. He just had a regular guy body. He ain't had no muscles. He just had like big arms or whatever. He's a bigger guy. He's 6'5". He's bigger, but he not built, like, he don't lift weights. He don't do none of that. So he had like a regular body. It wasn't nothing to be like, oh my, he wouldn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't giving that. Trey was giving that, but he wasn't giving that. Okay. Now, Trey would use that as his like tactic to me. Like, you could be dealing with a nigga that look like me. You could be with somebody that look like this. You want to cheat, because it was known that I mean, when I had got caught, of course, now I told the people who was close to me, which was most of the people I work with, because they knew, because he wasn't my husband at the time, but we gonna just say that when he found out, he was like, I'm gonna come up to the job. I'm finna wreck shop in this motherfucker. So I was telling them, like, he might come up here. Y'all see him, y'all better tell me, telling them, because they knew. All right. Causing chaos, y'all. So I was telling him, I'm like, oh, he might come. He's like, you shouldn't have been dealing with him anyway. You shouldn't have been messing with nobody like that. This sloppy. You being this, that. Like, telling me, like, you being sloppy. How you ain't deleting stuff out your phone. You got this, that. You should have been really messing with a real end, like, saying all this stuff like that. Like, I'm not trying to hear it, because I don't want you. Like, I ain't trying to deal with you. And I used to tell him that I don't want to deal with you. Okay. Go on. I get caught. I stop. I don't do nothing no more. I'm trying to fix my relationship, so I'm not trying to do nothing. Okay, progress on. This particular time, we were working together. Now, when we was working together, I used to go back there, because he worked in a secluded part. Like, it wasn't secluded, but it was like away from all the chaos in the hospital. So I would go back there, me and a bunch of our other coworkers, because it was another one that was super cool with this girl. She used to work in the back there. We would all take our break back there and sit back there, eat with her, laugh, talk, shoot shit, or we would go hide out and duck off, because we didn't want to be on the other side and have to do all that other stuff they want you to do. We just sit back there and tell them we doing other stuff on the radio when we weren't really doing it. Okay, you get what I'm saying. We ducked off, we hiding. So this particular day, it's 3 of us back there. It's me, him, this other chick that I told you is cool, and this other, my real good friend. She watched my video. She know what I'm talking about, because she saw it. He had a picture of his thing. You know what I'm talking about. He had a picture, and he had a Lysol can, and he had the measure together to show, I guess, the size. Now I know y'all like, what? In his phone, who do that? Who? I didn't even know guys do that. I'm like, guys be measuring themselves like that? I didn't know. No, if I have one, I'm gonna make a video about that. What do I do if I had one? but he took a picture of it, and he was showing them the two. He was showing them, and he kept telling. He was like, oh, I'm not gonna show you, cause I'm not finna get you all, like, I guess trying to say, like, if I show you, you gonna want it, this, that, and the third. And he was like telling them, like, it's the same size of a Lysol can. Y'all want to see, like, telling them, and they were like, yeah, we want to see. So they looking at, like, oh my God, like, going crazy and stuff. Like, damn, like that. So I was just like, okay, I don't care. You ain't gotta show me. I don't care. You seen one, you seen them all. It don't matter if one's little, one big, one short, one stubby, one fat, shit, they all look the same. Damn near. One circumcised, one ain't. One got what they say, a turtle head. I mean, okay. If I really want to see one, I could just I could Google one too. Or I got one at home. So, it ain't that deep to me. It wasn't that deep to me. I was like, bro, you doing a lot. But he did that. So then he was like, ever since that day he was doing all that, he just was like, You can see the real thing. You ain't got to see no picture. I can show you. You just come back here and I show you. I'm like, no. So I used to just like, I need to avoid him. So then time progressed again. I don't know how much, y'all. That's why I'm just like, time progressed. I'm just telling y'all like little incidents that was happening. Now, I know that he wants more. Of course, he wants something more with me. But I was like, no. We were so cool that he would always tell me about the girls he would deal with. He would tell me about the ones he would make his girlfriends. He would tell me when he was cheating on the girlfriends. He was telling me. It was so crazy. He would have the girls come up to the job. They be asking for him. He done had one come up there for lunch, one come up there before he get off. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm drinking this. Excuse me. I'm drinking this sparkling water, and got me. But anyway, he had all these different girls coming up there, and I was like, no, like you do too much. Even if I wanted to, like, I'm not gonna be on your list, your roster. No. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be on it. No. I'm not gonna be on your list. So I was like, nah. So I'm just like paying attention to like, all this stuff going on, whatever. So then this was like a while down the line. We working, and yeah, my throat hurting. Shit, my throat hurting. I'm sorry, my throat is hurting so bad. I don't know what I'm about to drink some tea. But anyway, okay, so we working, right? I had to get something. We used to keep people's valuable stuff when they would go in the hospital. And they would go up to like the top, like the floors or whatever. If they had like a wallet or keys or whatever, and they come in like through the ER and they don't family or nothing with them, we would take their valuable stuff. This person, I guess, was coming in to get their valuables. So I used to be in a dispatch office sometimes when nobody would be able to dispatch, they would have me dispatch sometimes. So I'd be in there dispatching, right? And when you dispatch, you got to get the stuff out of the safe. Unless it's like a supervisor or somebody, but it wasn't nobody in there. So it was just me. So I went and got the keys, and the safe is on the floor. So you have to get on your knees and get the stuff out the safe. So I get on my knees, right? And I'm bent over, back arched, arch in my back, and my butt is in the air. And I'm trying to dig into the safe to find the people's, valuable bag. He comes in. I don't know it's him. I don't know it's him till I hear his voice. He come in. And he go, yeah, you need to let me put you in that position. That's what he tells me. He's talking about, yeah, you need to let me put you in that position. That's what you need to do. And I just looked up at him and I got up and I was like, oh my God, just shaking my head. Like, I ain't say nothing to him. I ain't say nothing. I ain't say no or nothing. I just looked at him and just shook my head and just, finished doing what I was doing with the person. Because the person is not in there with me. They're in another room. I'm in a different room. So that's why the person ain't hear what he said or nothing like that. Because I know y'all probably like, he sitting there in front of somebody. They ain't hear him. We in a whole separate room. I go finish doing whatever I'm doing. And then from that point on, he make it more clear. So I don't know how long after this had happened, but this is what happened that I remember that this is how my husband, which he wasn't my husband yet, but I'm just going to call him that. He had said, he had an issue with him because this is what happened. One day we at home, I'm off. We at home. I think my husband was in the bed. He was in the bed and my phone was on like a little stand or whatever. I get a message across the thing, a message or whatever. So I get in the bed and I see it's him. I see his name. It's a text message from him. So I open the text and it's a picture of him with no shirt on in the mirror, shirt off, boxers low, but not showing them, but it's just low. And of course he saw it. He's laying in the bed next to me. He's like, why he sent you that? And I'm like, I don't know. Now, I don't know why he sent it because I don't talk to him like that. We don't talk like that. I mean, he said little stuff to me, but it's not nothing like I entertain it back. I just be like, no, he know I'm with somebody. He know we live together and all of that stuff. So it's not like he don't know. He know, but that didn't matter. And like I told y'all, when I had did what I had did, he was around. He knew I did something. So I guess he felt like, well, you did it one time. You gonna do it again. You might do it again. But I was like, no, I ain't doing it again. Because doing that and being with the person afterwards, that's a hard thing to deal with. They don't trust you. They think everybody do anything. That's why when the text came, I wasn't trying to hide it or anything. He seen it. It wasn't nothing to hide because ain't nothing to, I'm not lying. I'm not doing anything behind your back. It's straight real around here. He sent it to me. I didn't ask for it. I don't talk to him like that. You can look through the message. Ain't no messages with us because we don't talk like that. It's strictly work. But when you at work, he don't know what's going on there. Basically, he put me in a bad situation. This what had happened, y'all. He calls him. He grabs a phone. He's like, call him. I'm like, okay. I dial it, call a number. He answered the phone, just regular, like, what's up? And then his husband on the phone, he's like, hey, if it don't got nothing to do with work, he's like, I don't know what type of stuff you on, but he was like, this my woman. That's how he used to talk. He's like, that's my woman. That's my woman. You being disrespectful. I don't know what you got going on. He's like, but don't ever send her no stuff like that. He's like, oh, it was a mistake. I knew that was a lie. And he knew it was a lie. He was like, okay, a mistake or not. He's like, that's mine. He's like, don't send her nothing. He's like, you need to strictly only talk to her when she at work or work related stuff. If it ain't got nothing to do with work, when she off, she off. Don't text her outside of that. He was like, okay. And then that's it. That was the end of that. Wasn't no more of that. Now, he told me, he's like, he like you. Like, we going back and forth. He like you because why would he do stuff like that? I'm telling him, no, he don't like me like that. He's like, yes, he do. He's like, I know you lying. But he's like, it's all right. If I see him texting or calling you again, because we have joint accounts, so he gonna see. Like, if I see him texting or calling you again, I know what's going on. He's like, yeah. And he gonna see me, basically. That's what it was. I'm like, all right. I ain't doing this. So, he gonna see you. Because I even, when I went back to work, I even told him, I said, that's one tree you don't want to go up. I said, don't go up that. Like, he is not playing with you. Like, he will come for you. Like just because you causing problems in my house. And he's like, I wasn't trying to cause problems in your house. I want you. I've been wanting you, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you are causing problems in my house because I just got out of a situation and he was trying to kill him. Now you putting yourself into something, and we ain't even on that time. I'm not on that type of time with you, but clearly you don't care. He just relentless, like just kept doing it or whatever. Okay, so I told him, don't call me unless it's about work. And he never called me before. So I was just like, why he calling me? Like, why he texting me or doing this? Like, he never did it before. Okay. Now, let's just fast forward. I don't work there anymore. I don't work there no more. I've been gone for I don't know how long. Because I don't even know how many years this was afterwards. Because I'm trying to think. If I could think. I don't know, y'all. I really don't. I don't know. But let's just fast forward. Okay. I don't work there no more. I don't know how long I wasn't working there no more. But let me tell y'all what's going on now. Okay. I get a message from him because this is another thing. We was on social media together. On everything together. So he gets engaged. And he posts his pictures, engagement pictures, whatever, and you just like it. I don't put a heart, I just like it. Okay. I get a message, an inbox. And the inbox is, how have you been? Da-da-da, going down there. I'm good, da-da-da. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to, he was going out of town. I'm like, cool. He's like, but when I get back, he's like, I want to see you. He's like, you still with him? And I'm like, yeah, of course I'm still with him. Yes. Now, I'm like, at this time, was I married? I don't know if I was married yet. That's what I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think I was either getting married or I don't know if I just got married. It doesn't really matter. I was in a relationship. It doesn't matter. He's like, are you still with him? I'm like, yes. He's like, man, he don't do it again. I've been wanting you for many years. And he's like, you've been playing with me. He's like, I just want you. Just let me have you at least one time before I get married. Like, I think I wasn't married yet. I think I got married after him. That's what it was. I wasn't married. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, I was in a relationship. It does not matter. He's like, I want to have you before I get married. I'm like, no. I said, you can't do that. I'm like, no. I'm like, why? I asked him straight up. I'm like, why would you get married if you still got this on your mind? He's like, he's like, it's going to be a one-time thing. And then he said, I ain't going to never deal with you, bother you, nothing again. He's like, I just want you one time, just before I get married, before I do this, before I commit my life to this one person, all that type of shit. He went down there. I just want you one time. Like, just let me have you once. Like, please. He was asking me, like, I don't know why you know you want me to, this, then the other. And I'm like, I don't want you like that. I just liked the picture and was like, congratulations. And you know, y'all look good together. That went in one ear out the other. He like, I just want you. I'm like, no. Now, a day, I think this was like a Friday or a Thursday. He got married the very next day, y'all. Because I didn't follow him like that, so I didn't really like pay attention. But all I know is that they had a ceremony the next day. He was trying to make me, like, he was trying to get me to come see him the night before he got married so that he can do what he want with me and then get married. That's what it was. I put that on my children. I ain't telling no lies. This is straight up the honest, this is what happened. I didn't do nothing. I didn't even, nothing. I deleted the messages. I deleted everything. And I was like, this dude is nuts, like crazy. Like, I'm not, no, we ain't even doing that. So, okay, that happens. We don't talk. We don't talk no more. Now we're going to fast forward all the way to 2020. Now, in the meantime, in between this time and that time, he didn't really say too much to me. Like, not nothing really, like nothing. It was just, he might like a picture. He might watch a story, but it wasn't nothing. Like, he never said, when he got married, he didn't say nothing to me no more. That was it. Now, fast forward. My late husband passed away. I told y'all I get the messages and all of this. Now, he's one of the messages, but he hit me directly on my cell phone. It wasn't no inbox. It was a message on my phone because I still had his number. I had his number. I know people like, why didn't you delete it or block it? I didn't. First, I didn't delete the number because if he called, I wanted to make sure it was him. I didn't block it because I still worked with him at the time. When I quit the job, I wasn't thinking about, he wasn't on my mind like, oh, let me do this. When I left my job, I had just had my second daughter. I wasn't thinking about nobody. I was just, worried about, I just had a baby, kids, I'm my husband, I wasn't worried about nobody else. And he wasn't hitting me up like that. He didn't text me, call me. Once my husband had told him off, that was it. Okay. Y'all got it? Okay. I get a message from him. And he tells me, hit him, call him when I have time. He was like trying to tell me, like, my condolences on your passing, this, that, and the third. If you need somebody, we was real close. He did all that. It was real, because we was close. He like, we was real close. We was talking about everything. I consider you one of my friends, da-da-da. He was like, I just want to be there for you if you need somebody to talk to, whatever. I'm like, okay. Like I said, we was cool at a time, but we could talk about everything. I used to know all the stuff who he dating, who he sleeping with, how many, who did that. I knew a lot because he'd tell me stuff. I opened up something. Y'all, because I should have just never should have just said, okay, and then that's it. Because you got to take accountability for certain things. And I'm one of the people that if I do something and I know something, I'm going to take the accountability on where I played the part in that. Which I said, if I would have just said okay and left it at that, it would have been just that. It wouldn't have been no more. But it was becoming something more, emotionally becoming something more, if you get what I'm saying. Because I say emotional because it was not physical. It could have been, and we're going to get there, but it just wasn't, because emotionally, because I was speaking to him a lot, all the time. Like when he on his way to work, we on the phone talking. When I'm on my way home, we talking. We live very close to each other. So he knew kind of like the area I lived in, and I knew the area he lived in, because that's another thing. We would drive and we would see each other on the road, like in the cars. Like he saw me one time and he rolled the window down. He telling me pull over because we live very close to each other. His house is very close to my house. So, my leg, y'all. It had became emotional, like an emotional attachment or something like that. But anyway, so he did all of that. And then, like I said, I was talking to him a lot. So I was talking to him one day, and then he just was like, Joelaunda, well, he didn't ever, excuse me, he wouldn't call me Joelaunda. He called me something else. I'm not going to tell y'all what he used to say, but he called me another name. I have another name. I know y'all like, what other name? It's not a bad name. It's my name, but I'm not going to say the name. But he would call me this name, and he would be like, why you just don't give me a chance? Why you just don't fuck with me? Like, we could really be doing stuff. We could be, you know, I come see you. He's like, I have this free time and this. And I was like, I can't mess with you like that. You married. Like, how is that going to work? You got a whole wife. Like, no. And another thing, his wife is extremely gorgeous, beautiful. I'm not just saying that, like, if I showed y'all what she looked like, y'all would be like, why is he cheating on her? I guess anybody get cheated on nowadays. Beyonce didn't got cheated on, y'all. It don't matter. Sometimes looks don't have nothing to do with you being cheated on. Sometimes it got a lot to do with other things. Maybe you not performing right. Maybe you not, maybe it's something you lacking. It's always something got to be lacking. If a person step out, I feel like if a person stepping out, that's what, when I stepped out, I was lacking something, and I would voice what I was lacking, and he didn't care about what that was. So for me, and I'm speaking for me, it was lacking something. So I feel like most of the time, I get it, guys they have things that they need to get off and do or whatever, but because it's in their nature, but I also feel like sometimes guys be lacking that something from that woman. Maybe she nagged too much. Maybe he get tired of her. Maybe she lazy. Maybe she not the cleanliest person. And I'm not saying cleanly as far as hygiene. Maybe she just dirty. She don't do shit, and that may be a turn off to him. Maybe she don't know how to cook. Maybe that girl that he messing with could cook her ass off, and he like to mess with her because she can cook and she can, you know, do other things too. So that's why I'm like, it could be that. So I didn't never get into, well, yes I did, because I'm gonna tell y'all what he had told me. So we would talk, and he'd be like, telling me like, why you don't just mess with me? Like, give me a chance. He like, it could just be one time. He's like, one time, and we ain't got to do nothing again. Just let me see what it's like one time. And I told him, let's be 1,000 right now. We are super grown. 1,000. Me and you both know that it's not going to be a one-time thing. I know, you know, it ain't going to be a one-time thing. It's going to happen a few times. He's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's going to be one time. Yeah, I could honestly, maybe he might be right. It might be one time. It might be. I've done it one time with a few people, but it never did it again. So it could be, but I'm like, we had like an emotional attachment. Like, we talked about a lot of stuff. We was close with each other. He would tell me a lot of things. So I'm like, it's gonna probably be something more. And I'm like, I don't want to go. I told myself, I don't want to go down there, down that hole, that rabbit hole. I don't want to do that. I want somebody that's single and don't have no affiliations with anyone. I want you to be for me, and that's it. If that's not what you want, that's not what you're trying to do, don't talk to me. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. But I know people are not honest either. They lie. Especially a guy that wants what he wants. He gonna lie and say whatever because he sees what he like, and he gonna do whatever he gonna do and say to get what he like. If that gotta be lying about he got somebody, well, it happens and shit. Okay. He told me that at the time she couldn't do certain things because of her. She had some things going on in her life, and she couldn't do things. And because of that, he was like, he had to find his needs in other people. So he was like, no, I'm not sleeping with nobody else. He's like, I'm not sleeping with nobody else. I just get head from him. That's what he told me. It's like, and you want me to deal with you. You still want me to deal with you. He's like, I mean, we honest, right? I'm like, okay. And he's like, that's all I get from them. He's like, but I don't want to sleep with none of them. He's like, I want to sleep with you. I want you. You are who I want to sleep with. I want you. He's like, I don't want nothing from them. He's like, of course they tried. He's like, but I always be like, no. So he's like, you don't have anyone. He was like, you got needs, you got wants, which is true. And I'm listening to him, but I'm like, this fool trying to manipulate me. This all this is a act of manipulation. You're trying to manipulate me to do what you want by saying those things. Because yes, I do have needs, but my needs don't have to be met by you. I can find someone else to do what I need to get done. If that's the case. So I'm like, I don't need to get it from you, but okay, keep talking, whatever. So he was just like, let's just see, like, can we at least just try and see, like, if something could happen? I'm like, okay. So I gave in. I said, okay, we can try. Now, this is why I say I take accountability for my actions, because I go and I make an appointment. I make an appointment to go and see him. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get off, and I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take a shower, and I'm gonna go see him. So that's what I did. I got off. It was Saturday morning. I was like, I'm about to go get dressed, and I'm gonna go. We talking on the phone. I'm like, I'm gonna come. He like, you for real? You gonna come? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come. He like, we gonna do something. I said, we gonna see what happens. I'm not gonna make promises because I don't know. We just gonna see. He was like, all right. So I go to him. And when I get there, when I parked my car, I was just like, is you really about to do this? Like, I'm giving myself the whole like little pep talk. Like, you about to do this? Are you finna do this? This what you want to do? You just told yourself you ain't about to do this. About you know karma? Yeah. Okay. And that's what I told myself. I swear, y'all, I said that to myself in the car. I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna leave. I'm gonna just go up there and see what type of time he on. But I know what I want going in my relationship. So I'm like, I don't want to put that in my future. So I'm like, I ain't doing nothing. I already had it in my mind. I'm like, I ain't doing that. I ain't gonna do that. I don't care how far he try. He gonna have blue balls fucking with me. I'm not doing it. So I should have just turned around and got in my car and left, but I didn't. I go see him. He hit me with he sit next to me, let me massage you, let me do this, let me do that. I'm like, I'm okay. He sitting next to me or whatever, and he talking to me, and he rubbing on my arm, my neck, all my, doing all of that stuff. Then he want to give me kisses not on my mouth, but on my, here and stuff, doing all that and that. And I'm telling him, just hold up a minute, just hold up. And then he get to talking to me, y'all, the manipulation. Because I told him to stop. I told him, hold up, just wait a minute. Damn, I just got up in here. Like, wait a minute. And he was like, Joelaunda, we've been going through this for years. Probably at this time, I think it was like 10 years. Because he was like, I've been knowing you for 10 years, da-da-da. He's like, I don't know what type of game you playing. I don't know why you doing this. You already know I want you. You came all the way here. I know you didn't come all the way up here for no reason. You came for a reason. And I'm like, I did have it in my mind. But then I had a pep talk with myself. But I ain't say that to him. I'm just in my head like, I did come here. I had it on my mind. But I didn't do nothing. But so he was texting me stuff. He would say like things to me. And sometimes I would say something back to him. And then sometimes I would be like, brush it off or whatever. But he would be heavy on me. So when he came, he was just like, we be talking, we be saying stuff, we text stuff, we talking this and that. He's like, I want you. I want to see what it's like. I just one time, like, and then you ain't got to ever do it again. Just let me see. He was like, I ain't gonna never ask you for it again. He was like, do you want to or you don't? He's like, because if you don't, he's like, I'm finna go. We could just go. And I'm like, we could just go. And he's like, are you serious? Like, he's like, for real? You really want? Like, he turned up on me. He didn't yell and scream at me. He just was like, you for real? Like, you had me come all the way here. You got me all doing all of this, and now you don't want to. And I said, I told you it's a possibility. It's not a for sure thing. I don't know if that's what I want to do. I told you already. You married. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want nobody. He's like, she ain't going to find out. She ain't going to know. I've been doing stuff for a long time. He's like, you think you the only, this would set me like, he's like, you think you're the only person? I've told you about other people. You're not the only person. And I was just like, I know I'm not the only person. And I already said, I'm not trying to be on your little list. You ain't going to be on no list. He's like, I'm going to deal with you like this. I ain't going to deal with them like that. But I don't know that. He could tell me anything. Just like I said, he can manipulate the situation or whatever. So he just was like, I'm going to deal with you and that's it. And we gonna do what we do. And he's like, it's gonna be one time thing. If that's not what you want to do, we ain't gonna do it again. And I was just like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. So I ended up leaving. He was mad. That boy was pissed. He walked me out, and I told him he didn't have to, but he was insisting on doing it. So he walked me out. He watched me walk to my car because I didn't want him walking me to my car. He just walked me out the building. To the bottom or whatever, and then watch me walk to my car. And then that was, I ain't see him in the physical no more. Now let's get to the part where I get the call. Okay, I don't know how much time had passed, but it wasn't that much. It probably was, I'm gonna give it a few weeks had passed. I'm asleep. I had my phone on do not disturb. I used to talk to him on everything. I told y'all all social media. Like, he would hit me up on everything. Now, this particular time, I think he was snapping me or whatever. So he had sent me snaps probably earlier that day, because even though I didn't see him anymore, like in the physical, he was still trying to get me to come see him. He was still telling me, come see me. He would call me on the phone, talk to me on his way to work or whatever, and things like that. Or when he on his break, he'll call me or whatever. Like, he would talk to me. Okay. I'm asleep. And I wake up and I look at my phone and I see I got 2 missed calls from him. I'm like, wait. So I text him and I said, did you call me? And I didn't get a snap back until maybe some hours later. It was hours later. He texted me back and said no. And I'm like, yeah, you did. You called. You called me 2 times on Snap. Like, he never called me on Snap. That's what was weird. He called me on Snap. And I'm like, you called me. And he's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, yeah, you did. So I think the next night he had ended up calling me on the phone. And he was like, man, I got to talk to you. I got to tell you something. I was like, what? Oh, wait, hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. I get the call. Okay, I go on my Facebook and I look in the DM and I got a whole mess. That's how she called me from his Snapchat, right? But I didn't know it was her. I thought it was him. And it was 2 calls, like call, hang up, and then call again. And I ain't answer because it was on Do Not Disturb. Of course, I don't hear it. Okay. I get a message from her and she's like, this is the gist of the message, y'all. The gist of the message was, hi, I am Mrs. and she said their last name. I'm Mrs. last name and I'm the wife. I'm not sure if you know this, but he is married. And she was like, I just want to know how long y'all been dealing with each other. How long has this been going on? And basically, like, can you let me know what's happening with y'all? I seen you all up in his phone. I see you all in his snaps. Stuff like that. Basically, like, let me know what's going on. You could send me a message back here. Because it was her stuff. So I read it and I know y'all like, you are I looked at it, y'all, and I just laughed just like this. I was just like, what? I told him this was going to happen. I told him, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want this type of, I don't want nobody sending me nothing about no man. Like, That's why I want a single man. I don't want nobody that got nobody, because I ain't got time for this. I don't have time for this. I'm too goddamn old to be, no. If you single, holler at me. If you ain't, then don't talk to me. I don't want nobody that got somebody behind them saying, claiming you. I don't want no. So I had seen it and I just was like, okay. So she found out about me. I don't know how, but okay. The night go on. He sent me a message and he's like, I need to talk to you. I'm like, okay. I already knew who it was. It was because of her. So I didn't contact her either, y'all. I didn't reply back to the message. I didn't do nothing. And I did not think to screenshot it and save it like I saved everything else. I didn't even think about it, y'all. I honestly was tripping because I'm like, why the hell? I thought I screenshot it and sent it to my friend, but I didn't. I just deleted it and I blocked her. Okay. Let me see. Now he telling me on the phone, he's like, I need to talk to you. We on the phone talking. He's like, I said, you said you didn't call me. He's like, I didn't call you. He's like, she called me and this is what happened. He's like, I went to work, right? And he's like, normally when I go to work, I take my iPad with me. He's like, but to that day, he's like, I take my iPad, my laptop, and my cell phone. He's like, I take everything with me when I go to work. He's like, but this day, he's like, I forgot to take my iPad with me. He said, so she went on my iPad and she went and logged on to all my stuff. All my stuff, he's like, is connected to the iPad, just like it's connected to my laptop and my cell phone. He's like, so all my messages, my texts, my snaps, my everything, Facebook, everything is on there. So he's like, she went through everything. And he's like, she's seen our messages back and forth. And he's like, she started asking me, and of course, I'm telling her we never did nothing. We never did anything, but she not believing it. She think that we did. And he's like, out of all of those women, all the women that she contacted, because he's like, you're not the only one. Of course, I knew that already, but he's like, out of all those women, he's like, you don't the only one I ain't never do nothing with. All the other ones, yes, I did. And she contacted all of them. And I said, did anybody ever contact her back? He said, nobody called her back. Nobody texted her back. Nobody said nothing back to her. I was like, oh, you lucky. He's like, but we argued about you the whole freaking night. He's like, when you texted me on Snap and said, did you call me? And I told you, no, we were still arguing about you. He said, she is hell bent on the fact that you and I slept together. And I told her we never did nothing, but she is like, yes, you did. You slept with her. You sleeping with her. You still seeing her. Like she got in her mind that me and you did something. I told her we did not do nothing. And she said she don't believe me. Of course she don't believe me because it's multiples. And she also put that in the text. She said that I'm not the only woman. And I like, okay. I don't know what feeling she heard. And she ain't heard mine because I already knew I wasn't the only person. And I didn't even do nothing with him. But I was like, I'm not finna message her and say nothing to her, cause that's your man. You need to handle that. But okay. So he was just like, I said, well, I told you this was gonna happen. He was like, now I can't do nothing. I can't go nowhere. If I'm gone too long, she calling my phone, she blowing me up, she doing this, and I was like, he's like, so I gotta just lay low. I can't really be talking to you. I can't, this, that, and the third. He's like, I probably call you a couple times, but he's like, I can't really do too much because she watching me now. And I said, I'm not doing nothing anyway. I already told you no. And he's like, you still gonna say no? Yes, still gonna say no. And from that last conversation that I had with him, we never talked again. Ever talked again. Because I was just like, I'm not doing this. This is hilarious. Like, I'm not even about to put myself in a situation of being anybody's side, anything. I have a need, a desire for a man, and I want their attention and loving on me and kissing and rubbing and hunching on me. Yes, I want it all. But at what cost? I'm not finna just chaos in my life. No. Drama in my life. No. I refuse to no. So I was just like, I'm cool. Them needs can go. I'll sit and take a cold shower. I'll be straight. I'm cool. It ain't that. It is never that serious. It's too many men around here to be dealing with somebody that got somebody or married or whatever. I ain't doing that. I'm not, just like I said in the car when I told Karma, yeah, all right. No, we ain't doing that. So I never reached out to her, never said anything to her. I told her she's a pretty, beautiful girl. Like, she's beautiful. He was just, my friend, me and my friend had to talk about this. Two of them actually had to talk. The one who I told you who seen the picture of his thing or whatever, and she watched my videos. The other one, my other best friend, she the one who gave me the, because I had sent her the video, not the video. I sent her the text messages between me and the dude or whatever, and she still had them. That's how I got them, because she still had them up until this point, which is crazy. But she still had them. Anyway, my one friend, she was just like, girl, I would have told her this, that, and the other. And I had it in my mind to tell her, like, reply back and be like, no, we did this, that, and the third. Like, I was going to just lie. But then I told my friend, I was like, nah, I just left it alone, because if she gonna stay with him. She gonna be with him. I could tell her we did everything under the sun. She still gonna be with him. So it ain't really gonna do much of anything. My other friend, she was like, he a dog, he a this, he a that, da da da, of course. And she was like, she ain't gonna leave, she gonna stay with him. She was on the same thing I was on. So she was like, she's like, you gotta respect the fact that she came to you as a woman. She wasn't on no rah-rah crazy stuff. She was on some just let me know what's going on type stuff. So she was like, you gotta respect that. And I said, yeah, but I gotta respect it. Yeah, but I don't gotta reply to her. I don't gotta tell her shit. I ain't gotta say nothing. If you have the thought in your mind, if you see the evidence in your face, if it's clear as day that he's a dog ass nigga, he cheating and putting his thing in everybody, he don't respect the vows that y'all took together, well, and you stay with him, regardless of whatever I say, if you stay, then that's on you. Whatever I say shouldn't affect. You already got in your mind you gonna stay. You just want to know because you just want to know. I'm not even gonna give you the satisfaction. So I just like, I'm not finna tell her shit. But my friend was like, just respect the fact she came at you as a woman, and she wasn't on no crazy stuff. She was on some real, like, lady-like shit. She was on some woman stuff, like, just let me know what's going on. I'm the wife, da-da-da. If something going on, how long, this, that, and other. And she was like, just respect that. I said, I do. And I just respected her relationship by not even saying anything to her. So that's what I took it as. So that's the two different dynamics. My other friend was like, fuck her life up. Snatch her soul out of her body. But I'm like, she's still gonna be with him. She was like, and? I would have just said it because my friend was like, I would have just said it because I'm evil. But I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. But anyway, so I ain't never talked to the dude again. Never. After that call, after that interaction, ain't never talked to him again. Never said nothing to him again. Didn't want to say nothing to him again because I'm not dealing with nobody like that. And be sitting up there getting my little heart broke, because when I'm with somebody, I like to give them all of me. I like to give them all of me. I like to give them all of my heart, my love, my soul. And I want that back. So I'm like, I don't want to go out here and deal with people that got somebody, and then I'm putting out this bad energy, karma, and that later it could bite me in my ass. I want to be, I feel like I paid my little debt, my little due when I did do my little cheat that I did or whatever, because, but I paid for that. I'm not trying to have another thing like that again. I want somebody that's single and ready for me. So that's why I'm at, luckily I don't got to deal with none of that because, I told you, y'all know I got somebody or whatever. So, but even still, like, I don't want none of that in my life. The chaos, the drama, the sneaking, the lying, the having to remember what you said. Who want to do all that? I don't got time. I just want to be free, clear. Let me know. I told you my boyfriend got my location. He know where I'm at. If you watched the other video, you saw, like, my boyfriend got my location. He know where I am at, what I'm doing, who I'm with, whatever. I tell him everything. So ain't none of that. I ain't got time to be hiding, sneaking, cheating, lying, manipulating, doing all that, and trying to remember everything I said so that it would line up. My boyfriend is very witty, and he pays attention to everything. So ain't none of that going on anyway. He gonna be like, what you said such. Oh, you don't remember what you said. No, I remember. That's why ain't none of that going on. Ain't none of that lying stuff. We straight around here. But if y'all like the story, that's the story. His wife contacted me, and that's what happened. And yeah, that's the end of that. So this was 2020. A lot of stuff happened in 2020. I told y'all I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna bring y'all back to other things that happened in 2020. But because I told y'all I had dealt with like a lot of men in a short span. I was trying to figure out who I was gonna be with. That's what it was. It was like I was dating a lot of guys. I wasn't sleeping with none of them. I was just trying to figure out who I want to be with serious, because I was looking for something serious very quickly. But yeah, all of that changed when I met my boyfriend. But anyway, that's another story for a whole nother time. But anyway, I love you guys. I love you guys so much. I hope you like this long ass video. My leg hurt. I'm about to take this makeup off and work out, because I got my workout clothes on. So I'm about to take off the makeup and go work out, because I need to work out. But I love you guys so much. I'm probably gonna go live with y'all, and we're gonna talk a little bit. And yeah, I love y'all. Bye.